Hello everybody, welcome back to Combe Valley Campers. Today I'm going to be showing you how to turn your car into a camper using the Fiamma Moonlight Roof Tent. I just want to take a moment to say thank you to our sponsors, Howden's Modified Van Insurance. That's right, A-Plan are now Howden's. They still do exactly the same in that they will insure your van from the time you buy it until you completely convert it into a camper van and beyond. And if you want an exclusive rate on your next policy, please mention Combe Valley Campers and they will sort you out. So for many years, there has been an option for having a roof tent on your car to turn your car into a camper or further utilize your car over and above the family wagon that you might have. You might not be able to have the space for a van or afford a van or have the time to build a van, but using something like the Fiamma Moonlight, you can turn your car into a camper in less than an hour. You just got to fit roof bars, a roof tent, get out there, start traveling and exploring. So Combe Valley Campers are now a registered Fiamma agent. And as such, we've got some really exciting videos coming up for you showing off some of their brand new products, including the new F43 van awning and this Fiamma Moonlight Roof Tent. And that's everything I have in front of me right now. Under this black waterproof cover, we have, if I can get it off, we have the main roof tent itself. There we go. And this is the part that expands up and over onto, or it mounts onto your car and then expands and folds out into a two-person tent. I've got some stats right in front of me here, so I'll go into those right now, early into the video, just so you've got that information. So the tent I have in front of me right now is the Moonlight Tent 140, which is the two-person. There is a three-person tent available, and that is known as the Moonlight Tent 180. I'll give you all the dimensions of this one right here. When it's closed and on your roof, it is 148 centimeters by 130 centimeters by 27 centimeters. That is what we are looking at right here. When it's open, it is 140 by 240 by 120 centimeters. The weight of the entire thing when it's sitting on your roof bars is 54 kilos, so that is an important point to note. It is item number 08890-01 when it comes to placing your order. These are available on our website right now. I can leave a description to these parts and the other parts we're going to be discussing in the description down below. So that is that. In terms of placing this on your roof, this is available to, this can fit on roof rails and roof bars. If you're fitting it on roof rails, you have to mount roof bars onto it, and your roof bars have to be a minimum of 780 millimeters apart, and your roof bars have to be a minimum of 700 millimeters apart, okay? And the max weight for your roof bars must be rated at 75 kilos. Now, I don't quite know the max rating of the Beetle roof bars or the Beetle roof behind me. However, what we have are the front runner roof bars that we have got from Campervan Culture. Now, these roof bars are actually designed for a T25. We've gone for these particular roof bars and mounting feet because the Beetle roof is curved. We know we needed a decent amount of height and we needed them to spread that load on the roof rails themselves. All we needed to do was literally chop down the roof bars themselves, and the brackets that come with the Moonlight tent are actually perfect to fit around those front runner bars, but we will get into that later. There's a ton of information in this book, user guides, do's and don'ts, etc., including how to use the ladder, but we can get into that later. Right now, in front of me, we have all the accessories that go with it. We have these roof bars that hold out all the shelter parts and the windbreaks part of the tent. We have the mounting feet that slide in the runners under this part of the, under the floor. The mounting brackets that go on the roof bars. a lead, because this tent actually has an LED strip in it, so you've got lights in your tent. You can just mount this up to, let's say, a USB power pack that you can then just leave in the tent. It actually comes with fitting tools, a repair kit, and these really handy bags with the KDAR strips on them, so you can hang them from the bottom of the tent, but we can go into that later. Lastly, we have a little accessories bag here, so you can keep all your odds and ends nice and safe. But I think enough of the chit chat. Let's just quickly discuss the front runner roof bars and where we've mounted them on this particular car, and let's slam this roof on. The car we are fitting this roof tent today is my 1972 VW Beetle. You may have seen this on some of our YouTube lives and some of other bits and pieces I've done just in my own home garage. I've owned this for a few years, but back in, I don't know, let's say autumn last year, I brought this home to my garage and I've been tinkering with it, putting it back on the road. It's now on the road now. It's going to be my daily moving forward, and I just thought how hilarious it could be to chuck this roof tent on this Beetle. If you want to see more progress videos on this Beetle moving forward, like I want to raise it slightly, put some bigger tyres, we need lots to do on the interior, lots of bits and pieces, let me know down in the comments if you want to see more of this Beetle and the progress and turning it more into a camper moving forward. On to the most important part of this bug right now though, is the front runner Expedition roof bars we have fitted. Now, being that Fiamma have now made this roof tent, we needed a suitable roof bar to carry it on this vehicle, and we didn't really want to go with anybody else apart from Camper Van Culture and the front runner gear that they sell. Now, these are designed for a T25, T3 or Vanagon. They are the Expedition set and they are 190mm feet. That means from the point of the gutter to the point of where the bar sits, there is 190mm there. They come with these roof bars, again designed for the T25, so they're super long. We have chopped off approximately, in fact, we've just put those parts in the bin, but we will get that measurement for you in a minute, that we have chopped off approximately 10 to 12 inches from this bar. Now, for your information at home, if you do fancy getting a set of these and the roof tent, the front bar is mounted 400mm from this point of the B-pillar. So forward of that B-pillar, 400mm to the foot, and to the rear, just under 200mm for that rear foot, which means from centre point to centre point across the roof bars, that is 720mm, and we have found that that is perfect, being that that roof needs a minimum of 700, and at this point in the roof, it's about where it's most level, it's about where it looks right, and it's kind of centered over the chassis about where you're sitting, which is where like the optimum weight needs to be. We have actually fitted this to the roof already, and it does look amazing, and I cannot wait to show you. But the last point that we wanted to point out, or the last thing we wanted to point out, was the fact that because the roof is curved, you have to make a slight modification to this to ensure that the roof bars sit flush, front to back, and we have just inserted a 4 or 5mm piece of rubber strip on the front of this foot, for example, and on the rear of this foot, and that has leveled out the bars just enough so when we come to mount the roof tent, it will sit nice, flat and level. And there we are. They are the front runner roof bars, the Expedition bars, available from campervanculture.com, and we will leave a link down below in the description. And thanks very much to Jed and the team at Camper Van Culture for sorting us out with this set. So to clarify, the roof bars come in the pack at 1,475mm long. We have chopped off approximately, or not approximately, I have a measuring stick with me, 395mm off. And we just cut that off with a grinder, measured it, put a bit of tape round, cut it off, and put these wonderful end caps in there as well. And we found this is the optimum length of the roof bars to fit within the footprint of the roof tent base, because there are accessories that fit around the edge. So there we have it. Let's get that roof tent fitted, shall we? Now, I was away yesterday when you actually trial fitted this tent. Yep. I had to go and run an errand. I had to pick up some hay bales of all things for our up and coming event, Campers and Coffee. What do I need to know before we put this on?
To be honest, nothing in particular. The ladder is fitted afterwards because you need to access the inside to bolt it all down.
Right, so we can get rid of that
for a minute. Other than that, it is quite straightforward. It is as straightforward as plop it on top of the roof bars.
Okay.
slide the bolts in through the alley channel underneath.
Which are those things?
Yep. And then the clamps on the other side of the roof bars, and then open your tent.
Okay, so we place it on the roof.
Yep.
Then we have, so that goes in a rail underneath.
Yep.
That goes round the roof bar.
Yep.
And then we screw that on.
And then that obviously clamps it down to your roof bars.
Like so. Cool. Okay, so that easy.
Yep.
And then, what, we just open it up?
Yeah, under the straps and open it over. It will be easier at this point because of the height of the Beetle. Because obviously it folds back over on itself.
Yeah.
So unless you're on top of a ladder or 9 foot tall, you can't do that that easy, because you use the ladder to open it once the ladder's fitted.
Oh, so it's a bit of a process on initial fitting and opening,
yes.
and it's definitely going to need 2 or more people.
Yes. I mean, realistically, you probably could fit the ladder in this position, but you'd have to sort of prop this slightly open and unzip some of it and get into it. It's just a lot easier to flip it over and then fit it once it's open.
Cool. Well, I think, let's go on with it, shall we?
Time to get it on.
Lovely. We've got all the feet loosely placed on, so we can slide it backwards, forwards, left and right. I think now we'll just spend a bit of time making some measurements, making it centered on the bars, making it centered to left and right on the car. And we'll bring you back on the next stage when we come to open it out for the first time. Whilst doing up these clamps and the thumb screws provided, we did actually notice that the thumb screws were interfering slightly with the brackets. Now maybe that's a first edition thing that we may need to address to Fiamma, I don't know. But fortunately Jed at Camper Van Culture supplied me with a couple of these, well 8 of these black plastic spacers. They're actually part of the front runner kit or front runner accessories package. And what we found is if we put them in between the metal U bracket and the thumb screw, spaces it out perfectly and it looks like it should have always been there. Already this looks quite impressive, really quite happy with it. There's lots more to do to get it set up, but before we do that, the ladder's got to go on. So you have to confirm on the instructions the direction in which those hinges attach, and then they fit to these supplied bolts that are bolted through the base plate. You have access to them through and under the mattress, and it actually comes with all the supplied tools, doesn't it? So you have a 13mm ratchet spanner.
Yep.
And the required 5mm Allen key.
The only thing you will need in addition is a 4mm Allen key for those bolts.
So they've done every tool apart from a 4mm.
Yeah.
Okay, points to note, Fiamma. I mean, most other things don't come with tools supplied, so
and
that's
to be
pretty
fair,
impressive.
The ones that came with it are actually quite decent tool, as opposed to those skinny little things that bend on the first go.
Wicked. So let's undo those nuts, chuck this ladder on. We'll extend it now. Another point to note, the ladder extends from the bottom up. So you're not pulling up from here, you're pulling up from the bottom. 1 click, 2, and in this case, 3
is pretty much bang on.
Is pretty much bang on. So when that's all bolted up, it'll be nice and flush. So really happy with that. And I guess if you wanted it more at an angle, you could probably extend one more out, but
although
in reality,
there's a
half step. I like that.
There is a level of setting the ladder out the right way. In the instructions, it says only so far out for so high, sort of thing.
Right. Have I messed that up?
Because Obviously the ladder is what supports the underside of this when it's folded down.
Yeah.
So if you're too far out, you're putting too much pressure on the ladder.
Okay. So take note of the instruction, keep an eye on the ladder angle and the ladder height.
Yep.
Super, okay. Let's get this fitted.
Yeah.
Now the ladder is fitted, you'll be happy to know that that is the only time you need to actually mount it. It stays on. We could show you how it's all gonna extend and put all the poles in, but I think we're gonna wait until we go camping in a minute, and we'll take this out to the field or somewhere nice and show you how to do it out in the open. Before we do that though, we have to fold it up into its transportation mode and then fit the skirt that fits round the C-channel in the base over there above the roof, put the waterproof cover on, pack it up, and then head out and go camping. We have loosely put the cover on now with Fiamma logo front and rear. And the reason we've done that, A, is to get the right orientation, and B, to make sure this skirt here is in a position we are happy with. Now, if I bring you round to this front corner, you will see right here, where the zip is, there is the join for this bottom skirt. Now what we're gonna do is unzip this all the way round. Now the section is removed, we can go ahead and thread into the C-channel, whoops, underneath. Now what has become evident to us now is that when we strapped it down, we did it slightly the wrong way. You have two straps on this bed holding the bed closed. We then use the large straps to do the same thing. However, the large straps stay on the outside of the case. And then go over the bag once you've got your cover on. So if you give us a couple of minutes, we'll bring you back when this is fitted and we'll button it up for good. So before we go camping for the night-ish, one last thing. There are these rubber caps, I've already popped one in, and these go into these closing rails just here. And they're designed to just neaten it up and prevent any sharp edges. We're now on our campsite. In reality, we're on the field where we're hosting Campers and Coffee this weekend. But we have the field, why not utilize it? We are gonna undo the tent, set it up, and I'm gonna show you exactly how this works. First thing we're gonna do is unstrap it, remove the cover, and then we shall extend it and go through the motions. So before we go ahead and push out all of the insides, I'm going to prop all of the, let's call them the skirts, and the covers and the canopy out with these supplied metal rods, and they simply insert into all of these holes, and you'll see them all around the edges, and then they hook into the canvas there. But I think what we'll do, we'll go around now and show you each and every one. So after opening, we've propped out all the sides with those metal bars and rods, and already it's looking pretty impressive, but there's one last stage to do, and that is to jump inside and just extend the main hoop at the back. That clicks into place, much like any other tent pole. When you extend it, there's a little push button, clicks into place, and then we can start opening the vents and enjoying our camping experience. In the belly of the beast then, you can see that it's got these two temporary straps up in here. Now these are for when the roof closes, these straps just pull all the insides in so they don't get tangled up in any of the poles. But the part we're concentrating on is this hoop up here. I basically need to push this up until that popper comes out. There we go, the little buttons just popped out here. I do the same with the other side. And there we go. Remove these two hoops. And there we have it. That is up, the tent is up. It's obviously taken a little longer because we're filming it and on camera, but I'm sure you can whittle this down to a couple of minutes with practice. Now, the thing I'm already loving about this tent is not only the 5cm mattress that's on here, the fact that it's extremely long. I am 6'1", and my feet with boots on are about 12 inches away from that end. When I lay down, my head is about the same this side. So there is plenty of room. Over and above that, every side of this tent opens. They open first to expose the vents. And then you can zip the vents also. So you can have a fully aired out experience. And we've even got these corners here. So plenty of light, plenty of air. On a hot day, you can still be protected. Plenty of shade all the way around. And obviously with those extending skirts all the way around, you're waterproof as well. So I've got one last trick to show you up my sleeve before we make some breakfast. So the last super duper feature we have in this tent is, and if I turn it on, LED strip light, and it's dimmable as well. So dimmable LED strip light in the tent. And what I've done, you can use any USB power pack, I guess. This is just a Milwaukee Bluetooth speaker, battery in the bottom, USB in the top. And it just works brilliantly. So a wonderful, wonderful feature. I'm really impressed by this. The proof will be in the pudding, obviously. I'm going to sleep in this over the weekend for campers and coffee. And moving forward, we may well be fitting this to the roof of Dommy's T6. So look forward to that video where we'll be fitting it potentially on the roof of a T6 as well. Tough day.
Hard work. Well deserved, I think.
But we're here camping now. Tents up, ready, and we thought, why don't we celebrate with an egg sandwich? We've got the rig here. I think it's going to be a comfy night's sleep. What do you reckon, Ross?
I reckon we'll do all right. Might be a bit cosy for you and me in there, but I reckon we'll do all right.
No, it's going to be lovely. Before we sign this off today, I just want to say that this is a remarkable piece of kit. I've never really dealt with roof tents before. I've seen a couple, used a couple, but this is our first that we've actually done a how-to on. I think it's a remarkable piece of kit. Any feedback your end?
To be honest, I don't think so. I don't think there's really much to note. I don't think it needs any sort of improvement as such. The only thing that might be worth noting is if the weather does pick up, you've got the hooks on the back of there, it might be worth having a couple of straps tethered down. Yep. But other than that, I mean, obviously once you're in it and the weight's in it,
there'll be no problems at all.
It's not going anywhere. It's a good sturdy bit of kit.
Nice and light, fits on a 50-year-old Beetle, looks the part, I guess, but the proof will be in the pudding when it comes to actually camping in it. I want to say thanks to everybody for watching. I hope you enjoy the video. If you like this sort of content, please be sure to like, subscribe, and hit the notification bell as well, so you can see more videos and content like this. We will be showing this again on another video. And lastly, I want to say thanks to Fiamma UK for supplying us with this tent and some really exciting brand new products moving forward that we're going to be fitting on vans just like yours. See you next time.